Welcome you all to the course on Gender Studies. This is the 11th episode in the series. Let me tell you the three objectives that I have framed for this episode on Gauri Deshpande'S poem, The Female of the Species. The first objective is to understand the significance of the title. The second objective is to enrich the students' capacity to appreciate the imagery and implications in the poem. The third and final objective is to make the students realize the value of mother-children relationship. Now, let us see something about the poet. Gauri Deshpande was born in Pune, Maharashtra in the year 1942 and she died in the year 2003. She has published 3 volumes of poetry besides an anthology of Indo-English poetry. She has a PhD degree in English from Pune University and she is a bilingual writer, writes both in Marathi and English. She is also a short story writer and has written some 3 novels in Marathi. And she has also been credited with a translation of Richard Burton's Arabian Nights. About her techniques and the theme, she writes poetry which deals with everyday life, and she writes often to release the tension which keep building in her and demand utterance. Her poems are known for their simplicity. Particularly this poem is a very short poem from her compared to other poems that she has written. So very powerful imagery, rhythm and nuances of words that you can come across in her poetry. Now let us get into the poem, The Female of the Species. The title merely signifies that it is one of the kind. Species stands for one of the kind or class or type, we can say. But literally translating in Tamil, Inam, the female of the species, can be translated as Penninam. It has also been translated in Tamil in a book called Tarkala Indiya Angila Kavithaigal. It was written by J. Ayyappa Panika and was translated in Tamil by Rama Gurunathan. Now, the female of the species, the title itself, gives a clue that it is about women or female. Absolutely there is no place for male. Obviously the poem also agrees that the poem is completely portraying the deep feelings and emotions of the species called female. So who are the members in the species that we can easily trace? That sister, a child, mother, grandmother, friend, and so on. So they belong to the single kind called the female of the species. Therefore it's all about female. Now let us get into the poem. Sometimes you want to talk about love and despair. So she begins the poem with, sometimes you want to talk. It seems not all the time you can talk, because the female will not get leisure time to talk all the time. After completing the household duties, nurturing, caring, and other activities, she can hardly get time to chat. Therefore she says, sometimes you want to talk. Even the word want to talk means only at sometimes they wish to talk, not all the time. About what? they want to talk about love and despair. So kind of affection and despair. Despair in the sense you can take hopelessness, a kind of frustration. Despair can be equated to frustration. So love stands for affection and despair stands for frustration. So you want to talk about your love and your frustrations. And the ungratefulness of children, the third line says, and the ungratefulness of children. So you want to talk about your love, your despair, and the ungratefulness of children. A man is no use whatever then. So she deliberately and very frankly admit that when you want to convey something about your love and despair and the ungratefulness of your children, a man is of no use. It is not recommended to convey anything to a man because either he will not heed you, or he will not take things seriously, or he will even consider you that you are meaninglessly talking something. So everything is hidden in the line, a single line, that a man is no use whatever then. Therefore, she rejects the species. At the time of conveying her frustration, affection, as well as the ungrateful children, the activities of the ungrateful children. So you want then your mother, she further goes, you want then your mother or your sister or the girl with whom you went through the school, and your first love and your first child, a girl, and your second. So she gives a list of the species. Okay, man is of no use to me, then whom can I approach is the question, and she gives answer for that. You want then your mother, so you just go to your mother and say convey your feelings of love and despair and how your children are being ungrateful to you. Then your sister, so you can also go to your sister and convey your sufferings and mournings. Or the girl with whom you went through the school, probably to your classmate, but remember the classmate must be a girl, and her first child, and she would have given birth to a child, particularly the first child must be girl, and your second child. You may have one or two children, and you can also share your feelings to the children. So to the children, to sister, your classmate, and to your mother. So these are the possible targets you can approach to. But don't prefer a man. And if you choose a man, you are choosing a wrong target, where you will not be recognized or you will be given least attention. And she goes further. You sit with them and talk. So how will you talk? How will you convey your feelings to them? What kind of feelings? As I already told you, the feelings of love, frustration, and ungratefulness of children. So you sit with them and talk. You simply sit with them and start conveying your deep emotions. She sieves in the sense knitting or doing some knitting work, the household works. She sieves and you sit and sip. You are drinking something and she is sieving. It seems that sieving is the universal stereotype that a woman is expected to do. So she is sieving and you sit and sip and speak of the rate of rise. You simply talk to the particular girl, whether it may be sister or a classmate or anybody else for that matter, and speak of the rate of rise. Okay. And the price of tea, and the scarcity of cheese. So she has given 3 phrases: the rate of rice, the price of tea, the scarcity of cheese. Now, how do we understand these 3 phrases? Or how does the girl she is talking to how does she understand the 3 phrases? That she has not made it clear, but we will try to make it clear. Why does she worry about it? Because home is the natural sphere, home is considered to be the natural sphere of women or female, the species, and the species can think from the standpoint of home, and therefore she does a crucial and interesting role in financial management, how to manage the finance of the family. Then we will see it elaborately later. Now we will move to the next line. You know, both you have spoken of love, despair and ungratefulness of children. And you know, both you have spoken of love, despair and ungratefulness of children. So it seems she has almost spoken about love, despair and ungratefulness of children. Whether she has spoken everything, let us see whether she has really spoken about love, despair and ungratefulness of children in the 3 phrases: the rate of rice, the price of tea, the scarcity of cheese. Now let me begin with the title. The title itself makes one conscious of the aspect of female as the other. So she is not the self, she is the other, and also about the fact that in the world of male, female is the other. So also about the fact that Deshpande was fond of Darwin's work on the origin of species. The term species in itself makes one wonder at the exclusiveness it represents, as how many of us would have said the male of the species for the masculine is taken as the norm and the female as the aberration of nature. That is, they are going away from nature. So male of the species is not often used. So female is considered to be something different or odd as far as the masculine society is concerned. So from Gauri's view, when a woman needs to have a heart-to-heart talk on love and despair or about children, talking to a man has no value. So heart-to-heart talk will not be made to a man, which will deserve no value at all. Therefore, love or despair. It's a common belief that no matter how much a mother has to tolerate, she is fated to love her children, and so, perhaps in the context of their perceived ungratefulness, the feeling of despair manifests itself. So mother, as I already told you, mother is a cultural symbol, and she is considered to be good mother, right? The good mother consists of everything. That is, she has to tolerate, she is fated to love her children, she must do everything for the children and almost to do a sacrificial role. And her love is unconditional. So above all, her love is unconditional. That is, she has to do everything without making any claim that the children must do her in her future or will take care of her in future. So this kind of expectations, even the vision, you are not fixing a mission, but even a vision that in future the children will take care of the mothers, should not occur in her mind. That is why it is unconditional love. But the children are often considered to be ungrateful. So here in this poem, she is much worried about the scarcity of cheese, because she wants to give the children a well-nourished foods with rich minerals and vitamins, etc. Why? Because she wants all the children to be healthy, so that they will take care of them, take care of the mother in future. Even she is worrying about the scarcity of cheese, not to inform them that they have to eat less, but to inform the girl whom she is addressing that she wants to get rid of all this trouble simply by the chit chat. So by speaking to another woman, a woman can get rid of her troubles, particularly the mental stress. These are all very much troubling her, though it is not a great trouble to a husband or any male member. These seemingly trivial things will be of great concern to the female world or female species. Now, the poet talks directly to the reader, and she is addressing you. You rings clear, as if acknowledging a shared experience with assurance. So the use of second person is to interact. So the poem seemed to interact with the audience, so that a perfect affinity is created with audience or the reader. So when a woman sits down to unburden herself, she needs women to help her, like her mother or sister or best friend. So this is all female world. So a female world can alone heeds or listens to the troubles and love and everything about every concern about a woman. She seems to convey that a female can alone is a fit person to share the experience of a female. You ask your first love, the sense, your girl child, your friend's first child, a girl, to attend this ceremony too. Interestingly, she deliberately underlines the fact that her friend's first child is a girl. So all these women do is sit and talk while they drink tea. You have a completely cloistered world where one woman talks while her friend sieves. These women talk of the cost of provisions, for they are the ones who manage the house. They are the invisible accountants. As I told you before, they are the financially managing the family. So they are the invisible accountants. The ladies do not talk of the fact that the children don't seem to be grateful for their love. Instead, they speak of the price of tea and other silly things as they seem to be. They take off basic necessities, how they juggle them, but buried within or given up dreams and ambitions. When they talk about very simple things or trivial things like price of tea and other things, it seems they have buried within or they are given up dreams and ambitions that have never been given a voice. See, when a woman enters into a sphere, whether, let us take for an example, when she becomes a housewife or homemaker, she is forced to forget her dreams. She is simply taking care of the place where she is employed without any payment. So it is an unpaid labor or unpaid work, I can say. But even in the unpaid work, she must be very careful, and she is much concerned about the day-to-day activities instead of her vision, mission, and worldly affairs, politics, etc. That is not their concern at all, because they are taking care of the family. They are the backbone of the family. They take care of the aspect of living, that is surviving, existing. The livelihood will be taken care by men, but living, the existence, is the ground of women. Now, then they move on to speak the scarcity of cheese, which can imply the sacrifices they have made to give their children to a better future. Sacrifices that children will not understand. See, anyhow they have to provide the cheese. Whatever the husband gives, the income of an husband may be limited, will not be enough to serve the children, or will not be enough to give children the healthy food that they like. So when a mother talks about the scarcity of cheese, she is not simply talking about the today's problem, but the future of the children. Therefore she sacrifices, and these sacrifices the children will not understand. Why mother is worried about these things? Even the mother will not reveal the children that there is a scarcity of cheese, because this scarcity will be told to some other women, not to the children. It will be concealed from the attention of children. Therefore, சின்ன வயசுலேருந்தே கஷ்டங்கிறத சொல்லி வளர்க்காம எல்லாத்தையும் கொடுத்து கொடுத்து பழக்கினதுனால தான் அந்த குழந்தைக்கு ஃப்யூச்சரில் அம்மா இவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டிருக்காங்கன்றது தெரியல. அம்மாவுடைய ஹாப்பி சைட்ஸ் மட்டும் தெரியுது. Now, let's move on to the next one. And though they haven't really spoken to each other of the pain they feel at its behavior, this talk in itself a means of silent communication. So it seems to be a surface level communication, or surface level. It seems to be a not a depth communication at all, but the silent or secret silent communication is going on. They have told about their pain. They each know that other means what other means for. They all share their feelings. So each of the women, through the interaction, know about each other, and they are very much aware of what the other is saying when scarcity of cheese or price of tea, or rise of the hike in the price of rice. So these are the terms they can readily understand. They can empathetically feel that she has some problem. So in the end, there's a sort of catharsis. So how does it help a woman to convey some ideas to another woman? Simple. It helps her to purge her emotions. it purifies her heart. So a woman can use another woman as an outlet. The outlet is not her husband or any other man for that matter. So she prefers another woman as an outlet, that is a way out, or you can say a way to express her feelings and thereby purify her thoughts. So it's a kind of or a process of unburden things. So now each one feels unburdened. So these women are not career women but housewives who may or may not have once thought of earning their bread too. However, it seems that managing the house and rations is something that is in the nature of women, just as these little talks are. See, when a woman gets married, it's a new world to her where she has to control the household activities, get good name from the new parents, tackle the new personality and adjust everything to have a mutual understanding, and a new culture called a mother, where she has to take care of the children, which she has not practiced at all. Therefore, everything seems to be new to the girl. But the beauty is that managing the house and the rations is something that is in the nature of women. She is excellently managing the house and rations. Where did she learn the art? That we do not know. Maybe just as these little talks are, she is also managing the house and the rations. They have managed their affairs perfectly, but in the end of the day, as mothers, they anchor for some love and acknowledgement of the care they have bestowed. So what is the ultimate expectation? So mothers should also have some expectations, right? So they crave for some love, long for a love, and acknowledgement of the care, long for the love from her husband and other male members from the family. Particularly, she seeks acknowledgement of the care from the children, who are often ungrateful. So such women can be found anywhere across India, chatting with their saris tucked as they make a vociferous group of chattering women who seem happy and content, but within their hearts hold secret desires which were stifled and sacrificed a long time ago. So we can come across such women in our day-to-day life. Wherever you go, you can come across, in India particularly, you can come across women wearing saris and having chit-chats. Particularly their faces are very bright and a spontaneous happiness spark in her eyes. But how come it possible? Because she holds her secret desires which were sacrificed. Her desires are put aside or buried inside, we can say. Therefore, it is merely she wants to get happiness. The happiness is in talks. Through talking, the trivial things like price of tea and scarcity of cheese, she gets a consolation, right? So the consolation she gets is only derived from female. That is what is the point to be noted. The same thing if she tells to a husband or any other male members in the family, either she gets no response, that is, the person seemed to be indifferent to her, giving no emotions or feelings at all, or yelling at her, or he gives his mourning again that he is unable to fulfill the expectation of the wife or expectation of the mother. Now, but if she says the same thing to any other woman, she gets recognition. At least if the other woman is sewing, just like in the poem, or simply doing some other activities, she can at least nod her head, won't she? Yes, she will at least nod her head, which will be taken as a consent that she is listening, or she takes things seriously, though we know the fact that she may be thinking about her own family problems or correlating her own family problems in her mind. But the fact is, a woman needs another woman to dump her garbages. Her mind is full of garbages where she is searching for a right place to drain her mind from all the troubles that are disturbing her. And another woman is the right place to dump or scatter. So with these words, let me sum up the poem with shortly. The female discussion on trivial chit-chats may imply a significant craving for love or lack of acknowledgement. So the female discussion on trivial chit-chats may imply a significant craving for love or lack of acknowledgement. The casual communication also serve as an outlet for purifying their mutual pain that is concealed and their untold sufferings and sacrifice. The casual communication also serves as an outlet for purifying their mutual pain that is concealed and their untold sufferings and sacrifice. So in the view of gender studies, this poem is of great importance since it talks about the gender crisis. What kind of gender crisis? Let's see. It's about a mother and children, a female and a other female, a female and a male member. So the relationship between male and female, the female and female and children are the three phases that Gauri Deshpande has very tactfully handled in the poem. Let us first begin with the female and male relationship. She very frankly admits that female experience are not listened or taken seriously, or man is not the right species to communicate the feelings and deep emotions of the female species. And it is very expressive in the line that a man is no use whatever then. So the word no use, she does not say useless. She euphemistically says no use whatever then. For what no use? Is no use when it comes to the matter of sharing your love, sharing your frustration, and about the ungratefulness of children. So these things cannot be told to a man. So here arises the gender conflict, that the female sufferings, the female affection, the female's longing for the acknowledgement from grandchildren or children, are very much expressed in the poem, that they cannot be told to a man. Either they will not heed you, or they will not recognize you, or they will not even acknowledge you. So, the greatest pain in the world is to receive indifference, apathy, or showing no feelings at all. So everybody craves or longs for a little attention. Particularly women expects from men nothing more than their time, which men consider to be spent in the worldly affairs rather than family circle. Even in caring and nurturing a children, or the sphere of women. Now, she has listed mother, sister, girlfriend, and first child as a girl, and second child, etc. So, all the members in the female species, to show that you have so many members to communicate. Don't worry that the man is not listening to you. Just don't bother about him. He is of no use to you. Why don't you communicate to these members? These members will be listening to you, or will seem to be listening to you at least. They will pretend. Some of them may understand you. She too have some work. She will be sieving. But she will be simply nodding your head. So go and say your claims and affection. Share your affection. Share your frustration. Share your unacknowledged dedications. So with this we will move on to the next category, that female and female. So female and female relationship is beautifully explained in the poem, because a female can alone understand a female. A female can alone heed to a female. Whatever thing she tells to the another woman, she will easily understand the problems of the female. She will not take the superficial idea, but the depth feeling the particular woman wants to convey. Therefore, to share the depth feeling, a woman is the right target. It should not be told to a man. So they have the mutual understanding. A woman can alone experience the pain of another woman. So she has given the idea very clear in the poem. And while they talk about rate of rise, price of tea, scarcity of cheese, they know both that they have spoken not about tea, cheese or rice, but about love, despair and ungratefulness of children. So the ungratefulness of children is seen in the talk of the scarcity of cheese. The rejected love of husband is seen in the price of tea. The frustration is seen in the rate of rice. but it can only be empathetically understood by a member in the same species, that is, the female of the species. Even the children, the last idea in the gender studies, even the children are not grateful to the mother, but she takes much effort to feed the children without any even in the adversity. She tries to feed the children and try to conceal that she is in adversity. She never tells the children that she is in adversity and she is in trouble. She is not in a position to feed the children what it requires. Despite the scarcity, she has to feed the children. And the scarcity should be told to a woman and not to the children, because children needs not the recitation of scarcity but the recipes, but the things to be swallowed, but the nourishment that the mother is expected to do or allotted to do or assigned to do. So the mother is assigned the role to take care of the children. So nourishing and nurturing is the natural sphere of the mother. So here comes the question of femininity. So femininity talks about everything. It takes care of the familial affairs, familial responsibility, familial commitment, and shows the unconditional love to all the male members in the family. And if any conditions are there or any uncontrollable passions are there, that should be told or that should be informed through a casual chit chats to a fellow woman or another woman. So with this note, I would like to wind up this poem. So ponder over the ideas in the very short poem and find any gender crisis is there. Thank you so much.